Welcome. The story begins with Armin arriving at a restaurant with his girlfriend. Suddenly, a stranger sits down and warmly greets Armin. He calls his daughter, saying he is with her fiancé, and sends greetings. Armin feels awkward because he hasn't told his girlfriend about his engagement. He leaves quickly to avoid trouble. Meanwhile, another man returns home to find his wife Elena waiting. He brings a wonderful anniversary gift, making her very happy. She gets excited, thinking he bought a car, but is shocked when it's a dishwasher. She stays quiet to avoid upsetting him. When he looks for the money he saved, he can't find it. Elena admits she spent it all on a dress she liked. She then compares him to her friend's husband, who travels the world with his wife. As he tries to rest, she asks him to take out the garbage. Later, Armin, his closest friend, calls and says he's busy. Soon, he'll call and ask us to make him something to eat because he's starving. When we refuse, he takes out the trash and decides to leave, unable to find anything to do. Armin is hiding on the ground. He takes him along, saying he can't go home because Alina is there and might cause trouble. They find a taxi, meet Tima the driver, who keeps raising the fare. During the ride, Armin reveals everything that happened and fears someone might hurt him. Ton advises him to marry and settle down like himself, saying a daily routine is better than what Armin does. Armin calls Galina to say he's going out briefly, but she treats him badly and slams the door. The driver says Armin avoids commitment and treats his car like family, naming it Sununa. Suddenly, the car breaks down on the road. They see a pink car nearby. Its owner asks for help, but they refuse and leave. Then, they halt their movement. The police stop them, and when the officer discovers Tina's license is expired, they order her to pull over, confiscate the car, and all three are left standing on the street. They try to find another car to take them, and by coincidence, the same pink car they refused to help earlier appears. The girl is forced to give them a ride as they pressure her. Tawny starts talking about his wife, and how unhappy he is with his life. Armin vents all his worries, blaming women for all the world's problems, calling them a big disaster. Even the driver joins in and shares the same opinion. The girl listens closely to everything they say. Sophia starts speaking, promising she can fix all their problems. When they decline, she decides to bring them to a world where only women exist. She does something specific, stops at a place, and they get out. Inside, they're amazed to see a cafe filled with only women. All greet them warmly, offer drinks, and staff say everything is free. Armin's phone has no signal. None of his male friends or acquaintances are present. They've all vanished. He laughs and asks the employee to put on the channel showing the match. The employee explains that only 3 men are left worldwide, so there aren't enough men to form a men's football team. When they ask about the men's restroom, the woman apologizes, saying no men ever come here. Obviously, no facilities exist for men. Shocked, they leave and see only women everywhere, including all the police officers. The men vanish entirely. Sophia arrives, speaking calmly, saying she only wants to help. They'll have an uninterrupted night. No wife, girlfriend, friends, or relatives to disturb them. In exchange, they must not record anything happening here. Sophia returns their car keys and vehicles, emphasizing that no proof of this world exists. Their only task is to enjoy the day, nothing else. Taran worries his wife will be upset if he returns late, but Sophia reassures him about the real world. Everyone who will be absent, but only for 1 second, since it happens once in a lifetime. No one will notice they are gone, and he advises them to make the most of their time because this will never happen again. He drives around the country and finds women always welcome him. He says he wants to hold a large exhibition here. Then he goes to his home address to check on it. Suddenly, a police officer stops him but treats him kindly and leads him to a large, women-only club. They enjoy their time together. Armin is shocked to see a girl he knows from the real world in this unknown place. She refuses to talk to him, upsetting him. His pride pushes him to get closer, since no girl has rejected him before. When he asks why, she says he is arrogant and self-centered, which she dislikes. Armin feels pleased, hoping his friend will become aware. After dancing and drinking, an employee tells Timmy someone is outside. He steps out and finds her. Officer Olga, whom he met that morning, is someone he quickly avoids, pretending not to recognize her. He goes back to sit with his friends, sharing what happened, feeling bored and eager to go home. Armin decides to take him home so he can finish his day and not miss the chance. Suddenly, they find the bill shockingly high. The employee explains they ate and drank for free, but must pay for every woman. Armin realizes escape is to wait 24 hours. As they look around, they see men everywhere and quickly run outside. Sophia explains it happened because the main rule is that they cannot refuse any request from the women. If they break this rule, they will be trapped in a world full of men forever. Before leaving, she warns them that this is their last chance and they must not make any mistakes. Later, while gathering money, they meet Olga by chance at the car. She offers Tima a ride, and he stays until morning. At that time, Tern arrives home and Elin tells him she makes any breakfast he wants and treats him kindly, doing everything to please him. She even offers to invite his friend Armin for dinner, knowing he cares about him. She calls Armin, asking him to bring spices when he comes. Armin agrees, and, on his way, meets an elderly woman who asks for help carrying her bags. He helps her to fulfill his promise. Meanwhile, Torn walks the streets, feeling anxious as all the women around him seem to turn into men. Armin reaches the elderly woman's house and makes her some tea, washes her clothes, and cleans the house. Torn spends a pleasant time at home for the first time and eats his favorite breakfast. Elena does everything to make him comfortable and happy, even acting a bit to entertain him while he eats. When he tries to take her photo, the phone shuts off, as it's not allowed. Elena asks him to go out, saying they rarely do. Torn agrees, recalling he must fulfill every request. Armin uses the opportunity to leave. As the old woman falls asleep, he arrives at the park and sees a beautiful girl painting on the street. She asks him to help carry her heavy painting. To his surprise, she is the same woman who worked at the club at night. She introduces herself as Diana and says she loves painting. Later, he sees Tima again at a traffic light, but keeps walking without speaking. A police car follows, asking him to pull over. After driving a while, he parks, and they agree to meet at the station. Tern sits in a cafe with Diana, calculating how much he owes each woman present. Suddenly, an argument erupts, and Diana, annoyed, asks Tern to leave. He quickly escorts her outside. As they walk, some young girls ask for help retrieving a plane stuck in a tree. While helping, Tern falls, and Diana helps him find a place to rest. As they grow closer, her face fades, and he realizes their time has ended. The episode ends with Armin remembering the spices he ordered from her. He apologizes and stands quickly. Olga arrives at the hotel with Tima, asking Armin to stay longer, but he needs to go to a beauty center and use all its services because one woman insists. Armin spends time with Alina in a beautiful garden, the place where they first met and fell in love. They are happy together. Armin tries to avoid Olga, hides in the bathroom, and triggers the fire alarm. The entire hotel must be evacuated quickly. Armin calls Alina, saying he brought all the spices she needs, but she asks him to keep them and come later since they're outside. Happy, Armin decides to return to Diana. He meets the same elderly lady who asks for a massage. By chance, she is Diana's grandmother. Diana finds Armin with her grandmother, and they leave. Tima tries to keep Armin away from Olga. Every attempt fails. Armin falls back under Olga's control, asking Diana for portrait. A stranger like him reassures her she won't leave, so the three must return without her. They find Sophia still there, but she refuses to take them to their world because of what they did. They plead until tears come, yet she remains firm. After long persuasion, she agrees and lets them ride with her. They reach the real world and thank her for the beautiful day. She replies oddly, says she did nothing, then walks away. Afterward, they meet a girl whose car breaks down, and she asks for help. They assist her, then Torin buys flowers for his wife and decides to treat her differently from before. Timmy asks the officer to return his car. Meanwhile, Armin searches everywhere for Diana. Elena is surprised by Torin's new behavior, believing he's really changed. He invites her to their old park. Armin arrives at Diana's house, but finds another woman living there with her husband, and they argue. At that moment, Torin proposes to Lena. They share their favorite meal and receive tickets for a trip to Paris to renew their passports. Tima meets Olga again. They get to know each other, and he finds her very kind. Armin arrives at a major art school and is surprised to see Diana working there. They meet, fall in love again, and live happily together in the real world. That's the end of today's movie. Please like, subscribe, and ring the notification bell. See you next time.